Perfect. So let's get it poppin'. Everybody, it's Michelle from Divine's Purpose, and today is a very special episode because I have a divine masculine who is here to join me in the conversation. So can you tell the people who you are, please?
Hi, everyone. My name is Nicholas. I'm not even going to bother with my surname. I'm a divine masculine. I've been on this journey for, I would say, years or a lifetime worth of experience, but it's been an accelerated process over the last 9 months. I am in union with my twin flame, which adds a little bit of contrast and interesting aspects to the journey, and it's been remarkable. I am a healer. I work with magical awakening and specifically with divine sources and so forth. And yeah, I'm still kind of coming into the space. And today was quite a profound day. So yeah, long story short.
And you know what? And it would be. And let me tell the people this, because this is the truth. You know, you and I have been trying to get this podcast for months going. And it was so funny. If anybody follows me on Instagram, you know I posted my journal from November 27, 2019, specifically stating this date, saying it's the return of the divine masculine. And the one thing that a lot of people forget on this journey is that divine masculines and divine feminines are divine for a reason, and it's because we're light workers. So I love that you said that you're a healer, because that's exactly what we are and what we're doing. So I'm so excited to talk to you. Obviously, divine timing is in play, but the one thing I do want to start off with is our intentions for this. And for me, my intention for this podcast is to bring authenticity and clarity to anybody who needs it in this journey, and also to allow our inner child to be present so we can be a little bit more playful while we're doing this. How about you?
I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. That sounds fantastic.
Okay, perfect. So I have to also tell the people this about you, Nick. Like, you, in my opinion, are amazing. And I think that you have so much energy for this journey. And I met you because of your twin flame, and also you were part of my 6-week Shadow Week program. And how I got to know you and connected with your energy was a little insane. I'm going to tell people this, like, it was very insane. And it's so true that, you know, this journey is really about all of us as a soul fam, because I felt so connected to you 100%. But I'm very honored to know you, and I'm happy that you're on. So first of all, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. The privilege is mine.
and I wanted to tap into divine masculine energy in regards to the shadow work. So how this is going to work, people, it's like, I'm going to ask Nick a few questions. He's going to talk, and wherever it leads us, it leads us. There's no real prep work here. We're just going with the flow, right?
Yeah, no, I'm going to be twerking in between questions, just letting you know.
Fantastic. I love it. So
lovely.
Let's talk about the importance of shadow work and what it did for you.
Well, I think just to start off, so I mean, initially, I mean, I had my reservations with this type of work and these type of things, and over the years, I never really gotten any answers from different spaces, be it churches, be it different religions, or any of religious denominations. And yeah, I kind of switched off, and I started meditating, and I suppose it opened me up quite a bit over the years. And when you just came and popped in, Kara showed me this woman that is just out there, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot of woman and a lot of person.
Pause, people. He's talking about me.
Out there. Yeah, I'm talking about Michelle.
Oh God.
And and yeah, it was. I was like, okay, now who is this? And then it went to me just questioning and really lingering and mulling over, like, why do I not feel like I can step away from this interaction, or the possibility of having an actual interaction with this person. And yeah, then we just had a call one day, and you said, well, you told me some profound things, and my little mind was blown and expanded just on the, I suppose, your consulting call. And yeah, you gave me a lot more time than I think you would normally give. And yeah, I wrote that stuff down, and I got home and my mind was blown. And I said, yeah, well, Karis, we've never invested in ourselves. Karis is my fiance, hashtag twin flame. And yeah, I just said, we need to invest in this. And when we started the course, I didn't know what to expect. I was just open to receiving and learning and to put the work in. I mean, that was the biggest thing, was just having that big yes. And the course itself was nothing like I had expected. It wasn't neuro-linguistic programming. It wasn't life coaching. It had a little bit of those things in there. But it wasn't that. It was just so much more. It's so difficult to put those type of experiences into words. But the amount of time and dedication and focus that you gave me, and that attentiveness, really helped push me, especially when I messaged you after we had a session, and random things popping up and asking for clarity. And it really got me to dig deep into those layers that I was so uncomfortable with, specifically in those inner child spaces. Beautiful. So yeah, I'd say it's profound. It is an experience that is a must.
Beautiful.
Especially if you're like just starting to step into the space.
No, that's beautiful. And I love that you say these things, because as a divine masculine, in my opinion, from working with divine masculines one-on-one, the biggest shadow that a lot of divine masculines have to deal with is the wounded, distorted ego. Can you talk a little bit of your experience with your own for divine masculines out there?
Wow. I think it also, just to add on that and to add a little bit of clarity, with being, sorry about my voice, like literally the previous reading that Michelle had, it's so true. It's like we're going through puberty, like my voice has been so wonky the whole day.
It's beautiful.
Every conversation I've had.
It's beautiful. Congratulations. This is amazing. Everybody, you have to understand, sorry to interrupt you, love, but you have to understand divine masculines are coming into their truth right now. And that's why I think this day is so epic. And I'm so happy that you're here, Nick, to talk about it, and you can hear it in his voice. So like, this is a beautiful moment.
Yeah, I mean, just to touch on that, like I experienced a different level of consciousness today, and a very open-hearted, like a sense of oneness. Let's just try and summarize it like that.
Amazing.
But anyway,
congratulations.
I digress.
It's okay. This is part of the conversation. We digress, people. Just join the club.
But yeah, it's so interesting to just be in this space and to actually look back on the ego and the remnants of it. And we all have to have ego, but is your ego working for you or against you? And my ego was trying to protect me from just feeling and digging into these emotions, and it created so many layers, which prevented me from just experiencing life and experiencing the present moment. And with my journey as a child, and all those traumatic experiences that most people had, for me it came across as narcissism, a very inflated view of self, and I suppose just like a lot of like airy fairy lies that you tell yourself, that you make yourself believe a lot of things, and the ego is just trying to protect me from the truth. And it's weird how your body puts in these different like control mechanisms just so you can function, and once you realize what it's actually doing and what you're running away from, it's a profound awakening experience to awaken to your ego. And then on top of that, when you understand that you're not just sharing your ego, you also can share the collective's ego as well. So you need to be able to differentiate between the two. And when you're going through that, maybe you might have a little bit more heightened awareness, and sometimes these random emotions just come up, and you are sharing that same type of consciousness, and your ego or your mind confuses it for your own emotions and your own feelings. And just being able to differentiate myself from that space and to start dealing with my own things, and figuring out that, which I mean, it's a forever ongoing process. It's been incredible. So yeah.
Okay, listen, you touched on a couple things that I had to write down, and it was really in regards to the heart awakening versus fear, right? Because the
Yeah.
fear is the wounded, distorted ego, and the healed, loved ego is that heart awakening. But then you also
Yeah.
mentioned a little bit about tapping into the collective, which is very um, overwhelming at some times. And I believe that that's why the inner
Totally.
work during ascension is so important. And we have to remind our soul fam out here that, this ascension takes time. It does take time because
Mm,
you have to work through your distorted, wounded ego, your unhealed inner child, and of course, all the fear and the programs, right? So,
yeah, totally.
do you have anything that you want to maybe mention about mm, how you conquered your fear as divine masculine?
Wow. Well, I first just avoided it completely.
Mm.
And you think, to be honest, you sit there and you jump, you think you've conquered it, and you've just gone through a layer. And it's amazing. Like, this healing process is a cyclical process. Imagine like this spiral, like a tornado.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets easier and easier every time you go through that same emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you've experienced it, your awareness has deepened within yourself and with those energetic frequencies. And it's it's difficult to explain, but it's a mixture between choice and surrender.
Mm.
And if you don't make the choice, and if you are not willing to surrender to the dark parts of you, which are a part of you, and you just need to alchemize those parts by understanding them, learning about them, giving them love, and allowing them just to integrate into your system.
Amen, honey. Amen.
That's the process. It sounds easy, but some of these emotions can literally take months, if not years.
Oh, for sure.
And 10 to 1, your body's been doing it automatically over time. I mean, just an example. I was so low vibe earlier this morning.
Mm.
And it wasn't because I wasn't aware, but my body was just saying, hey, I don't feel like that. And you can't control your meat suit.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
you need to just feel it out. And if your body's saying, hey, like, I get that you are aware and you're on, you want to be in a different frequency or conscious, but I'm here right now. This is what I need. And later in the day, it just moved up with me, and it came to meet me where I wanted to be. And I'm quite grateful for it. So it's really just, it's going with the flow. So back to it is honestly surrender and just making the choice. And it is a difficult choice because your ego is going to try and stop you.
Amen.
Your subconscious is going to try and stop you. Your programs are going to try and stop you.
Amen.
And you're going to fail. You are going to fail a multitude of times.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Every time you do it, you chip away. You just chip away.
That's very powerful, because the thing is, when I say it's the return of the divine masculine is returning to their higher self, to their true self. And a lot of divine masculines forgot to, well, first of all, they forgot who they were, as we all did, and we're coming back into it. But the biggest here is action. And, when you make a choice to choose to do nothing, or to choose to live in fear, or to choose to walk away, is a choice. But you are the prime example of a divine masculine who chose to return to their authenticity. So with that said, can you talk about the power of self-love and acceptance as a divine masculine?
Wow. that is an interesting question. Look, as a kid, sorry, I try to create context the whole time.
Don't worry,
in a very short period of time.
Just flow.
I just I didn't really understand the concept of love. I didn't really grow up in a very warm home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not placing any judgment, or this is not being said with any blame or anything. But it was a very foreign feeling. I had a lot of deaths at an early age that I had witnessed, being one of my parents, and some other close family members. And this all just happened in such a short period of time, and I shut myself off. And with that being said, I mean, all these other tendencies came into play, but I never understood the concept of love. I had the idea of it, and the idea is what sustained me. And what sustained me was acceptance or approval from others, not having the self-validation, but seeking that validation from other people, from an external source. And only getting it when I did well or did something that was appeasing to them. So you firstly give away all your power when you're not loving yourself. I'd like to add that there.
Yeah.
And with going back to the shadow work, that was probably the most profound thing, other than digging into the inner child thing, but that not loving myself, because I never loved myself. I never understood that concept. And yeah, I will openly say my 4-year-old son is probably I think he's probably experienced that I never really, was there for him, even though I thought that I was. And that was because I couldn't be there for myself. And look, there were points where I'd open up and there would be this connection and it would be amazing, but then I shut it down because I don't want to lose that feeling, because this feeling is so rare and it's so powerful and it's so amazing. And then I don't want to lose it. I want to keep it all to myself. And then, yeah, you just have to literally say to yourself every day, I love you. I see you. I witness you. I embody you. I used affirmations. I meditated. I wrote things down to myself. I wailed. I had moments where things would just scream out of me. Anger, rage, and all these different emotions. But whilst those things were happening, I forced myself, with the little bit of little bit of understanding that I had about this love thing, to love myself through it. Even if I just said it to myself whilst I'm going through these different experiences. And it just kind of happened. It happened over time. It happened when those deep moments where you don't know if you can actually forgive another person, and you find that extra bit of compassion. And you don't know where you find that, that little bit of extra compassion for yourself, but you do after you made that mistake. And today specifically, I had a complete opening or awakening of my heart space. And I've never had that in my life. I don't have words for it, but it was just a complete sense of peace, a complete connection to this divine bliss, that state that you're supposed to be in, that one that everyone seeks, that. And it was profound. And it really was just about the work. It is about the work. It is about changing your mindset. And it's not easy to love yourself during those hard times, but who else is going to do it? Who else is going to do it when you need it most? And if you can't love yourself, how can you share that gift with anyone else?
Beautiful.
So yeah, that's all I have to say.
No, that's you made such amazing points there, because first of all, you chose spirit versus flesh. We have to understand, everyone, that our society is meant to really program us in a way to set us up for self-destruction. Everybody wants more. Everybody's looking at certain things that are brainwashing us, and to find true self-love in your journey without blame, guilt, or shame is really important. And you choose that through your actions. So that's really beautiful. The other thing I want to also state is that, if you've been following me, everyone, I always say God first. We're called divine for a reason. We're not just masculines and feminines out here. We're here for a specific reason and purpose. But please step in the motion of forgiveness, whoever you are. And with that said, I'm going to step into light work and mission, because, as twinners, we are here under Christ consciousness to really ascend and lift up and heal this planet that is already happening. The Great Awakening is here. Now, for me, this is the biggest subject that I always get questioned is, Michelle, how do I know my purpose? Michelle, how do I know my mission? Now, for you as a divine masculine, because let's keep it real, everybody, divine masculines are they're our they're our grounding energy. You're our grounding energy. You're very physical, pentacles and money and all that stuff is very important to you. Is that correct?
Totally. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So no, this is good because I want to talk to you about it because first and foremost, I always say to everybody, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And for you to even just go into shadow work and love yourself is your mission and light work at this current moment in time. Okay. So how can you maybe help or maybe talk about your light work and mission as a divine masculine?
In particular to me or as the collective?
No, you, because this is your own personal journey will help others.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, it was something that I mean, you can recall the conversations we had, like, what am I going to do? Like, what do I do with this stuff? Like, where do I go?
Yep. Yep.
And to be very honest with you, like, there's no one thing fits all. But the underlying premise is creating this unity consciousness, and the only way you do that is through love. That is it. That is all that you need to focus on. And I also just want to mention, it is not everyone has to literally quit their jobs like I've done, start up a business specifically to serve and purpose related, and to like jump on this bandwagon, which will take you on one incredible roller coaster of a ride. But it's about, I mean, what I'm doing nowadays, I also listen to a guy called Matt Kahn. I would really recommend. He preaches all about this love stuff.
Amazing.
And he's incredible. And one of the things that really stood out to me is he said he just walks around blessing people all day. He walks down the street, he drives, he's in the grocery, and he just blesses people. And I've started doing that. Like, I started that maybe like a month and a half ago. And you can when your intent is there and you are being authentic, you can literally see people turn around and look at you. And you can be in your car, and for some reason, just something clicks with them. And you might even see a smile on their face just pop out of, like, randomly, and they don't even know why. Or their shoulders just lift up. And it's so small and so subtle, and you have to obviously change your filters. And for me personally, I've always had a thing for the human body and the human mind and the psyche and unraveling that. And it's something that I avoided. I went into construction. So it was a completely different path. But in any case, so for me, it was, how do I end up creating this value, and also, not just, create value and heal people, but also have the sense of fulfillment through what I'm doing. And it was really the energy healing just kind of popped up. I've always had something with my hands, and my hands seem to have a lot of energy there, and just intuitively I end up being guided on how to use it, and also just working with other energies, and just with how I treat people and how I make them feel, and being so conscious and aware in conversations. I mean, we can all work under the premise that so many people are here to just trigger us in our quantum field, in our space, in our reality, to teach us, to show us. But we also need to just keep in mind, it's not just a test, but we also need to understand that everyone's having a human experience, and not everyone is a conscious, integrated being that is, fully aware of what they're doing and what space they're occupying. And we need to just be so compassionate about that, because it's not our journey to wake you up if you don't want to wake up. It's your choice.
Absolutely.
That's free will.
Absolutely.
And that is something that I think many people misunderstand. So you'll go to a family gathering and you want to now push your agenda of, I'm a healer, I can read your aura, I can see things, I can feel. You might have a block over it. It's none of your business unless someone comes to you and says, hey, I just feel like I need to talk to you. And the flow allows this unfolding and this experience to take place. So it's really just on how you express yourself. I've even just started taking up art again. Like I'm doing digital drawing, and that's another expression. And I'll use that with, pushing things on my Instagram, which I've really held back on so many things, because as you said, you have to wait for the right time. And now I feel like the right time is nigh. So yeah,
that's beautiful.
I'd say just go with the flow.
Yeah.
It'll happen when it happens.
That's beautiful because you touched base on so many different things again, which is great. You know, you're surrendering and you're trusting and you're picking up messages for what you're supposed to do, but it really starts with your heart and love. And remember, everyone, you know, everything is a mirror of yourself. So whatever you are projecting out to that world is coming back to you. And a second thing, especially for divine masculines, because I feel like divine masculines don't realize that, you know, you didn't choose this. You were chosen for this, part of your soul contract and mission. So yeah, in some way, you know, you are special and you are light and you are love. And you really have to heal the rest of the fears and the programs that are within you for you know, for to become a light worker, to become in your mission and purpose. But again, and I say this all the time, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So please honor it. Now, the last thing I want to touch base on is this specific topic. As a divine masculine who is in physical union with his divine feminine, I have to, you know, keep it real, y'all. You know, so many people romanticize the twin flame journey, and it's a vicious circle of codependency, which, you know, it's not what it's about. And you're laughing because you know it's true, right?
Yeah, like imagine you feeling someone else's feelings all the time, and when they're angry at you, you feel that, and you feel your feelings, and it's so confusing, and you literally cannot distinguish between your emotion and their emotions.
Listen,
and you trigger each other on everything.
Yes, I was gonna say yes. It's so true. It's such a supernatural partnership. It's such a supernatural connection, you know. And the thing is, I wanted to touch base on you because you are a divine masculine who is in physical union with an amazing divine feminine. Shout out to Carice. But I want people to kind of know what that is really about and how you guys go about your everyday in a little short base, because we're running out of time, but a little short base.
I know, I see so.
In regards to physical union, realistically, because it's so fantasized out there, and I want people to know what it's really about.
Well, we firstly have 2 kids, a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, so that just makes it super interesting. And they also are crystal kids, so makes it even more interesting. But I'd say it's a lot of work. You have to be putting the work in for yourself. You literally can feel if the other person is not putting that work in. And if you're not putting the work in, you can feel it. You need to really set boundaries. You need to really be able to distinguish your emotion from their emotion, as well as that individual work and that space where you are going to be the creatrix of your own things. You can either be doing it together or you can be doing it separately. But overall, ideally, you have the masculine hold the grounding energy and allow the female or the feminine to soar. And I just want to say feminine and masculine. I don't want to say male or female.
I understand.
That's a misinterpretation.
Yeah, for sure.
So long story short.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. Thank you. It's a lot. I know. And another thing I want to say,
we can have a whole another conversation on that. I don't mind. We can do that.
We can literally have a 3-hour conversation on union, because the
totally.
Imagine, first of all, let me tell you guys this. You're never in separation. Separation is an illusion. If you're really a twin, you know you're twin. It's that simple. Secondly, when you're in physical 3D life reality and you're both are ascending, you're both healing, you know, there's a lot of work. So first and foremost, I do want to tell you, there are people in physical union. Do not just get caught up on the romanticized vision of union. I did it in my past too. Trust me, that doesn't work. You have to remain focused. You have to understand who you are, and God first always. So with that said, I love you and I'm so, so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes. And
I love you too. Thank you.
Much love. And I want you to give the people your Instagram handle if you choose to.
At Von Pitt. VONPITT.
Fantastic. And he just showed me his website that is coming. And guys, it looks amazing. So once everything is launched, of course, I will support. Of course, I will share. But that's it. That's all for this. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, like if you are interested in just having any energy healings and those type of things, you can just DM me. If you like my vibe, if you resonate. If not, that's super cool. Otherwise, yeah, thank you for listening. This is such a privilege. Thank you, Michelle.
Of
Thank you.
course, thank you. And honestly, I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see your journey. And
Thank you.
of course. And that's it. That's all, y'all. So much love. This was this episode, and we'll be on soon. Talk to you later.
Lots of love.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.